Start winning at the races with Daily Racing Form's new Mobile Pass performances, featuring exclusive buyer speed figures and expert analysis and selections. Go to drf.com/best and get the power of DRF in the palm of your hand. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 11 at Churchill Downs on Kentucky Derby Saturday is the Grade 2 Distaff Turf Mile. Let's throw up the field. We're going a mile on the turf, and it's for fillies and mares. And rumors of newspaper of record's demise were greatly exaggerated, Mike. She was a brilliant 2-year-old. She underperformed at 3. A lot of folks thought she was done. Well, she's back. She might be better than ever at the age of 4.
Yeah, she's certainly erased the memories of that 3-year-old campaign in her first 2 starts anyway this year, Dan. It seems like she really is back. And if she is, she's probably going to win for the 3rd time this year.
She likes to hear her feet rattle on the front end, and I think she will. As we take a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector, I'm a little surprised the 3 Juliet Foxtrot is ahead of Newspaper of Record in the early portion of this race. Juliet Foxtrot has speed. I just don't see them getting involved in an all-out war with Newspaper of Record, and we know Newspaper of Record. She wants to be up front.
Yeah, I think we look at it the same way. And not that Juliet Foxtrot is a slow horse by any stretch of the imagination, but Newspaper of Record will be on the front in this race.
The number 1, She's on the Warpath, was on the front in her most recent race, over soft going at Ellis Park. And we turn into the stretch, and Chantal Sutherland tried to sprint from home a little more than 2 furlongs out. She put away a couple of pace pursuers, and she's going to get run down here by the 14-1 shot English Affair. And I can certainly understand anyone saying, well, if you can't beat English Affair, how are you going to beat these horses? But She's on the Warpath has been very consistent this year, and it's not like she's a need-the-lead type. She can sit from off the pace, and that's where she's going to be while saving ground on Saturday.
Oh, no, I totally agree. I think she can get the right trip in this race, and then we'll just see if she's good enough. She's in really good form right now. As you say, she's very consistent. It does even feel like maybe she's improving right now, and she'll probably have to improve again. This is a good field.
You and I are huge fans of the number 2, Daddy is a Legend, who's just had a lot of tough luck in her career. She probably has been best in some of her races, but trips and pace situations have compromised her. She ran great in the Matriarch 2-back against Got Stormy. And I really thought she was done. I had no idea where she was. I was shocked when she showed up in the entries at Kentucky Downs last time out. She pushed that fast pace set by She's on the Warpath while wide. I don't think she needed to care for that soft track, but I think she gained a lot of fitness from that race.
Yeah, I think it's probably best to forgive her for that one. It was soft turf. She was a little headstrong in there. It almost felt like her rider could not get her to settle in that race. She kept up on the pace 3 wide, but even Giroux around the final turn, he was never really trying to get her involved in the race. He just let her fall back out of contention. I think she needed that one. And as you say, she's got races on the go back, and she's been very hard luck in her career, but she's got races on the go back that could make her very tough in here.
I think turning back to a mile is going to work for the 3 Juliet Foxtrot, who probably will let Newspaper of Record have the lead, but she won't be that far behind. She's 3 times Grade 1 placed in her career, including this effort in the Jenny Wiley Stakes, behind Rushing Fall, arguably the best filly and mare turf horse in the country. Juliet Foxtrot in the pink hat, sitting 3rd and behind. She's had a good trip in this race, Mike. She's finally going to get optimal clearance in mid-stretch. She'll come with a little bit of a late kick. She was just 3rd best in a race where the pace held up.
Yeah, I mean, didn't really have much of a chance in there. You're right. It had to push her way off the inside very late in the game. It probably didn't matter, but it wasn't ideal. She ran pretty well in that race. And you know what? Overall, her form is really strong. We'll see what kind of trip she gets, and then we'll see if she can finally get there first.
Newspaper of Record has come back firing, as I said, at 4, 2 starts, 2 blowaway wins, 2 triple-digit buyers, including this effort in the Grade 1 Just a Game on firm going, where she was able to dictate her own pace, and it was an easy pace. And once she went 48 to the half, it was just a question of how far she'd win by.
Yeah, I mean, just had all the best of it here, but, once again, quickened through the stretch like the Newspaper of Record of old and just gave this field absolutely no chance. It's the same thing she did in the Intercontinental, where she caught the yielding ground that she likes, caught a fast start, went right to the front, and just absolutely buried a good field of horses. It does look like she's all the way back, Dan. She's going to take a ton of beating in here.
I wonder if Harmless is the one to take up position just off newspaper of record on the chase, allowing Juliet Foxtrot a couple of targets. Harmless set the pace in the yellow ribbon at Delamar last time out at a big price. Let's watch that race. And all things considered, she hung on pretty gamely to finish third, but look at those fractions. She went almost 50 seconds to the half. They really afforded her no respect on the lead, and she's going to be chasing a faster pace and a pretty good horse this time.
Yeah, I mean, she does have speed, but she doesn't have newspaper of record speed, and chasing that horse feels like a recipe for disaster for Harmless.
Bo Recall won this race in 2019 when she got a really nice ride from Arad Ortiz inside out, got pace to run at, and was able to get it done over Got Stormy and Daddy Is a Legend. She really improved once switched over to the Brad Cox barn and getting over to those East Coast courses that might have a little bit more give in it. A little bit disappointed last time out in the yellow ribbon, but what chance did she have considering there was no pace on for her?
Yeah, it's all about what kind of trip can she pull in this race. And it does sort of feel like, listen, even if newspaper of record is the best speed in this field and gets to the front, I don't think she's going to be walking up there, Dan. I think there will be pace for Bo Recall. And when she gets pace, she runs every time. It makes her very dangerous.
La Sanyare, the number 7, ran very well over this course 2 starts back against a decent runner in Secret Message in the Grade 3 Mint Julep. And then in the Jenny Wiley, a race we saw, she was just no match for those horses. And I think that's really the key here. I just don't think she's a Grade 1 type. She's good, and she's done some nice things against listed and Grade 3 horses. To beat these on Derby Saturday, it's an ask.
It seems like she's got something to prove against these horses. I will say that she basically had no chance in the Jenny Wiley. Closers were way up against it in there, and Santana rated her and actually gave away a couple of spots early to try to get over to the rail. And after that, this filly had no chance at all in that race. She's really improved for Brendan Walsh. We'll see if she can get a better trip this time.
South Florida invader Belle Laura has come back firing as a 4-year-old. Both wins at Gulfstream Park, one on the lead this race from off of the pace. And I have to admit, she's looked pretty good doing it, Mike. I mean, we're going to see Belle Laura in here in a nice performance. She got a good trip in this race, I thought, to win it. But boy, 88 Beyer wins very easy. Giant step up in class.
She has looked good in her last 2 races. She's in a different world here against these fillies.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Distaff Turf Mile. Newspaper of record, the horse to beat. We're taking horses coming out of the same race. The backclassing Daddy Is a Legend is going to be your pick, who should really improve second off the layoff. My top selection really has to improve. She's on the war path. I think she's going to get a different trip this time around, and I admire her consistency. Maybe she's more of an underneath play than a win candidate, but she's going to be, I think, 20-1. I want to give her a chance.
She's going to be a big price in this race, and she's going to get a good trip. I agree with you there, Dan. I don't know that newspaper of record is actually beatable based on her last 2 starts. I do think Daddy Is a Legend is the second best horse in the race. So I feel like if newspaper of record loses, maybe Daddy Is a Legend can finally pull off that big upset she's been trying for the last couple of years.
And she should be a fair price on the tote come post time. Mike's going 2-4-3-6. I'm going 1-4-3-7 in the Grade 2 Distaff Turf Mile. Race 11 at Churchill on Derby Day Saturday is an approximate post of 4:39 Eastern. Good luck.